And again, we could probably figure this out ourselves. We just look stupid. We're not stupid. According to The Athletic, the numbers they've run, the Edmonton Oilers will win the Pacific Division. Vegas will finish second, Calgary will finish third, and San Jose will finish fourth. Are you listening?
I am.
I meant them. I knew you were listening. I could see. The Seattle Kraken will miss by a smidge. And then it'll go Vancouver, LA, Anaheim. They got Anaheim last. What? Over in the Central Division, we all had Colorado to finish first, and it's, according to this, there's a 99% chance of Colorado winning the division. How can they say that? What if McKinnon gets COVID again? Could happen. Blues second, Wild third, Jets the fourth and final playoff spot. And then here's who will miss in the Central: Dallas, Nashville, Chicago, Arizona. They say Arizona has a 0% chance of making the play. How can you say that?
6 games into the year.
Maybe they'll suddenly get good.
Guys, park it. You're done.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
The Toronto Argonauts have traded quarterback Nick Fatty Arbuckle to the Edmonton Elks. Why? Let's play a little word association here. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. Patrick Mahomes,
Kansas City.
Dak Prescott,
Cowboys.
Ben Roethlisberger,
Steelers.
Nick Arbuckle, Calgary, Ottawa, Toronto, Edmonton, all within a year. This is, to me, this is why the CFL struggles with credibility.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. I just had to turn myself up, Moose.
All right.
How you doing?
I am good.
Hey, welcome, everybody, to Canada's daytime sports talk show. I'm tweeting the links here so everybody can watch, but I'm not including Facebook, okay? How long are we going to be on Facebook for?
Till you decide we're not.
No, you're the boss. Till you decide. Don't put that on me.
Well, it's going to be soon. So this is actually a good idea to remind everybody to make that switch over to YouTube, because Facebook will be leaving the network very, very soon.
Come on down to YouTube.
Come on down to YouTube.
We got the smoke.
Facebook will not last through the month of November.
Okay, there you go.
Tell you that.
How about that?
At some point in November, we'll be YouTube only.
But we are, of course, broadcasting live on Game Plus television across all 10 provinces and 31 states, and I'm hoping for more soon.
Yeah.
And we're broadcasting from the bunker in the NHL's Bermuda Triangle. And it's Canada. We're going to open with hockey here. Coming up in hour one, a guy that's become a pretty good friend of mine, and you're going to see why. Nick Kypreos, he of 442 NHL games, Stanley Cup champion with the New York Rangers. Maybe we'll get him to tell us best Stanley Cup championship story from New York. Remember that one?
Yeah.
When he was going to get a haircut?
That's right. And Mark Messier.
Mark Mess calls him and goes, "What are you doing, Kepper? What are you doing this afternoon? Because we're taking the Stanley Cup to the Yankees game." "I am canceling my haircut, and I'll see you in the Bronx."
That's right.
But
I'll cancel my haircut.
Right. So Kepper's going to be with us here in hour one and talking about his latest venture in this perilous trade of broadcasting. Kypreos back with Sportsnet. And in hour two, Zig Fracassi from SiriusXM NFL Radio in New York. Always enjoy our chats with Zygmunt. So that's on the docket today. I will get to all of your comments in a second, but first, this is the warm-up for Ecol Electric, and I'm not using their mug. I'm using my Bronco Plumbing and Heating mug today as we start our coffee session here at 10 a.m. Mountain. Can you hit the Quick Six Show Topics horn, please, Director Jordan? Thank you. I see all the Winnipeggers are fired up, eh? You see that?
Oh, yeah.
And the Flames fans, too. These Flames fans, just hang on to your bingo cards for a second, okay? And I'm coming to you. But the number one show topic here is the Chicago Blackhawks. And as Darren said before the show, this is a somewhat delicate topic. So I'm going to read to you the wire copy here. The Chicago Blackhawks mishandled allegations that an assistant coach sexually assaulted a player during the team's Stanley Cup run in 2010, according to an investigation commissioned by the franchise that has cast a shadow over the National Hockey League. Stan Bowman, Chicago's GM and president of hockey operations, resigned Tuesday in the wake of the findings by an outside law firm. And the NHL fined the team $2 million for, quote, the organization's inadequate internal procedures and insufficient and untimely response, unquote. Al McIsaac, one of the team's top executives, also is out. Florida Panthers coach Joel Quenneville and Winnipeg Jets general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, who were with the Blackhawks when the sexual assault allegations were first reported, were named in the damning report as well. The Panthers declined to comment, citing NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman's plans to meet with Quenneville. Cheveldayoff said he shared everything he knows with Jenner and Block for its report. And Chevy issued a statement yesterday as well, which the Jets emailed to me. I think you've all seen it by now. So that's the news if you hadn't heard. Here's my take from my morning commentary today on Cat Country 98 and Rock 98.5. The ugly, if you want to look at it that way, is the conclusion to the Chicago Blackhawks scandal involving the sexual misconduct of video coach Brad Aldrich. I bring up the perspective of the case because the lawyer for John Doe, the pseudonym for Aldrich's victim, said her client is feeling both relieved and grateful that people are being brought to justice. That's the good news because, frankly, the victim is all that matters here. But the whole situation is ugly, and it's not over. Quenneville and Cheveldayoff have been called on the carpet by Gary Bettman as the commissioner wants to know what they knew and why they said otherwise. That's ugly, too, because these are two good men who were put in an awkward position by a creep like Brad Aldrich. These days, sports is all about covering butts and saving jobs, and these two guys got caught up in that. So, too, did Blackhawks GM Stan Bowman, who ultimately lost his job. His pointing his finger at his bosses wasn't enough to save his job. For me, I keep hearkening back to the sexual abuse cases in hockey in our area, and while the perpetrators were brought to justice in most cases, a lot of the bystanders got off scot-free. So the good news out of that is, in light of the Blackhawks situation, maybe we are making some progress, but we still have a long ways to go. That's my talk. Now, you've read the entire, you have it in front of you, the entire 68-page findings by this investigation. You go a little further than I do in this.
Yeah.
Or have further thoughts.
Well, for sure. And it is quite the read. 68 pages. It's available online. It all stems, the key point in all of this, it feels like, was a meeting back on May 23rd, 2010. And that was after, things had been known and it had been relayed to the top executives, John McDonough, Al McIsaac, Stan Bowman, right? Kevin Cheveldayoff. And then Joel Quenneville gets brought into the meeting. And it's all about who was delivered, who knew the information, and then what happened and what was allowed to happen. There was talk about distractions. I mean, they had just finished the Western Conference Finals, I believe, in that win, and we're about to play Philadelphia. But what we get out of all this, and it's kind of in the conclusion, is that there was a definite mismanagement, and it goes against the conduct policy that was set out by the Blackhawks, which is to promptly handle situations like this in a timely manner. It took 3 weeks before anything was done, before it was brought to HR. And the reports all contradict each other, as you would expect a little bit, trying to recall meetings and little instances
from 11 years ago.
11 years ago. That's going to happen. But it sounds like there's at least some consistency with John McDonough, the president at the time, saying, leave it with me, guys, I'll take care of it. But it wasn't taken care of. So now the NHL and Gary Bettman has to decide, well, where does Joel Quenneville play a role in this? He's the coach. This was the video coach. You're interacting with players. You're allowing this to continue. But Joel Quenneville is trying to win a Stanley Cup and coach his team to win a Stanley Cup. And you need people to take care of their jobs, right? So if you think somebody else is going to take care of it, does that allow you to go get your job and do your job and coach the team, and are you off the hook? That's where this is all going to, come about. And then Brad Aldrich was allowed to go on and continue to coach, right? I mean,
Other places.
He went to the University of Notre Dame, went to USA Hockey, went back to high school in Michigan. So there's a lot of details and a lot of, like, how was the situation handled that Gary Bettman's now going to get into.
Yeah, well, as you mentioned, what did you say? Chevy is a freckle on the butt of this whole thing, as far as you're concerned.
Feels like it. He's not really mentioned a lot. And I don't want to say that he's home free here, because everybody plays a role in this, right, in making sure this gets handled. Ultimately, reading this, I didn't get a feeling that Kevin Cheveldayoff is going to be in a lot of trouble here. I just don't get that feeling personally. So for the Winnipeg fans, I think that's going to be okay. But again, it's not my decision, and I don't really know.
And Quenneville, too, has got a team to coach. You're in the middle of the Stanley Cup run, which you ultimately won. And this is what it's going to be fun with Kipper when he joins us to get his take on. Everybody has an opinion today, okay? And I see people writing in here saying, fire Chevy, fire Q. Well, you can have that opinion, but it's not your call. And be careful what you wish for. And, if you want to be in the pitchfork and what do you call it? Torch mob, that's entirely up to you, but you don't understand all the ramifications of this, all the sides. I don't either. But I'll say this, Cheveldayoff and Quenneville aren't the perpetrators here. There are other guys that got blood on their hands. Incidentally, by the way, a couple things as I go a little off script, Moose. I missed a lot last night. I went out to broadcast a Junior A game at Notre Dame College last night, and it was amazing. Do you know why I do that stuff? Not just because I love the pure game of hockey. I like to go out onto the front lines and talk with the coaches and the players. There was NHL scouts there. There was referee and chiefs there. I talked to them all. And my phone's just going off like a slot machine. Bing, 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 bing. The Blackhawks thing. Roger Goodell. See that he's not going to make the emails public in this Washington football team investigation. See, there was another investigation going on. And my source, what did he say? I told you people on the air too. Gruden's going to go down, and he's the only one. He's going to be the scapegoat. That was 2 weeks ago I said that, and that's exactly what happened. Because what I heard was basically the NFL said to that investigation, the company that I guess launched it, here, we'll give you Gruden's head. Is that enough? We just give you Gruden. We want to get rid of him anyways. Yeah, that'll work. That's what happened.
And then light the emails on fire.
Right. Delete. Oh, dang, I hit delete. They're gone. Anyways, I enjoyed the hockey game last night, but I missed a hell of a lot of things going on the ice. Are we ready to talk about actual hockey?
Yeah.
Or do you have anything else?
Well, my last thought on this whole thing is that this came out. We talked about it a little bit because it came out right after our show yesterday. And you start to read the headlines and start to get form some opinions, as we naturally do. But then I read the 68-page document, right?
Yeah.
It's really easy to say anybody who had played a role in this should be gone. Anybody who was in the room and knew about it and didn't say anything should be gone. But you have to read this whole document and understand exactly what went on and how this happened. And then you have to understand that that's only part of it, too. So you can't just go by what you read on Twitter in this situation. There's a lot more to it about how everybody handled this situation and who's ultimately responsible. And it's right now, I believe, going to be up to Gary Bettman when it comes to the meetings he has with Chevy and with Q.
Sure. We are just settling into it today. This is the biggest story in hockey today. Patrolman Pete's watching in Winnipeg. He says Chevy was in the room. If his bosses said they were handling it, what was he supposed to do? Yell at them? That's why I think, like you say, he's not going to be in trouble here, but some other guys will be. Stan Bowman, not the only one to, feel the fallout of this. From Jeff Kypreos in Winnipeg. What did I say? They're awake in Winnipeg, and I'll tell you why in a second. Jeff in Winnipeg says, sad hearing what went on in Chicago, and unfortunately, I think this happens in other sports/other jobs. I can tell you that it absolutely does. Abuses of power, misconduct all the time. So this is just the latest. And again, Quenneville and Cheveldayoff were bystanders and trying to do their jobs. I don't fault them. They're not the ones in charge. And they mishandled it too, probably. But would you have done any different in their situation? Probably not. Anyways, 2.3, basically. I'm all out of order here. Brandon Tanev had 2 goals. And Jordan Eberle added another to give the Seattle Kraken their first home win in franchise history, beating the Montreal Canadiens 5-1 Tuesday night. Montreal last in the NHL's Eastern Conference with just 2 points in 6 games, and they've been outscored 24-11. I listened, coming home from Notre Dame last night, to the Kraken broadcast. Our boy Elliot's pretty good. Elliot Fitzhugh, he's good.
Oh, yeah.
And who is the guy? Is it Mike Benton?
Yes.
Benton on the mic? Everett Silver, longtime Everett Silvertips. We got to get him on. He's a longtime Everett Silvertips broadcaster. He's the pre- and post-game host, and he was broadcasting live from the, Coors Light Lounge after the game. They were going nuts in Seattle last night that the Kraken won.
That's cool.
Which they should.
I've been following Mike's Instagram really closely,
Right.
And he's taking you all in the stadium.
He's a great guy.
He is one of the best, so it's good for him that he's got that pre- and post-game host job.
Yeah. I think the guy that we banned is back under another account. Can we ban him again? Under that Dak Prescott account. Get rid of this guy. He's a jerk. Nikolai Ehlers scored twice, 19 seconds apart in the third period as Winnipeg rallied over Anaheim 4-3 in the Duck Pond. Are they chiseling out the Nikolai Ehlers statue in Winnipeg today? That's why I'm saying they're all awake. They want to talk about the game. And they should. The Jets trailed 3-2 in the third period before Ehlers tied it with 1:20 to go after a scramble following a faceoff deep in the offensive zone. He then scored the winner with 1:01 remaining with a shot out of the right faceoff circle. Ehlers also had a helper while Andrew Kopp had a goal and 2 assists. Evgeny Sveshnikov also scored. And Connor Hellebuck made 32 saves for the Jets, who have won 3 in a row. Watch out for the Ducks, though. Trevor Zegras and Sonny Milano had a goal and an assist. Josh Manson also scored for Anaheim. I think that was the game of the night. Mm-hmm. Forget about the Kraken and the Habs. Minnesota's Matt Dumba scored his first goal of the season midway through the third period to spoil Vancouver's home opener 3-2. Vancouver Canucks equal awful. Andrew Mangiapane had 2 of Calgary's 4 goals in the first period as the team extended its win streak to 4 games with a 5-3 win over New Jersey in the Swamp. Luch! Elias Lindholm and Matthew Tkachuk also scored for the Flames. Calgary backup goalie Dan Vladar made 27 saves. For the Flames fans that are acting all cocky today and trying to call me out for me saying a rebuild was necessary last spring. What did I say? Talent is not the issue in Calgary. It's culture. And obviously it was too much for Daryl Sutter to be parachuted in midseason and get that thing turned around. But I guess over the summer he has. But talent's not an issue. It is hard to come in midseason and turn things around. Now, granted, he did it in Los Angeles and went on to win a Stanley Cup. But he's not a magician. So kudos for the Calgary Flames. Enjoy it now, but stop rubbing it in people's faces. Oiler fans aren't doing that.
No post-game trash talk.
No post. Can you just stop and enjoy the ride, Flames fans? Stop rubbing it in people's faces.
But that was the stat I saw last night. 4-game win streak. They didn't have a 4-game win streak all of last year. 3 was the most.
Right.
So it is good times.
Credit Daryl Sutter.
Yeah.
Andre Palat and Ryan McDonough scored 10 seconds apart in the second period, and Tampa Bay picked up its first regulation victory of the season by beating Pittsburgh 5-1. This is the game of the night. Riley Smith scored a shorthanded goal. Robin Leonard stopped 26 pucks, and injury-plagued Vegas snapped a 4-game slide with a 3-1 win over Colorado. Chandler Stevenson, an alum of God's team, also scored, and Evgeny Dadonov added an empty netter with 29.9 seconds to go to seal the win. 3-1 Golden Knights over Colorado. It was on ESPN. And Juicy Soros made 28 saves to lead Nashville over San Jose 3-1. This is the warm-up for E-Cold Electric. We're only 2 points in, Moose, into the warm-up here. Just want to tell you, pardon me, our annual fall promotion sale is on at E-Cold Electric with special pricing on hundreds of in-stock items. E-Cold Electric, let's get to work. When we come back, we'll continue the Quick Six, World Series, CFL, NFL. That's all after this break. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds, feeling the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down. Bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back.
What?
Nothing. Well, no, just in the last 24 hours, I've had two people, the latest just here now, saying, oh my God, Game Plus is on my Amazon Fire Stick. I'm like, yeah, buddy. This one is Jamie in Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia.
All right.
But yesterday was Mike Thomas, the former Saskatchewan Rough Rider. He's like, hey, we got an Amazon Fire Stick in our office at Football Sask, and we just found out Game Plus is on there. Well, your name was on there. Yeah, buddy. We're all over the place infecting people's minds.
That's the idea.
So let's just continue on. By the way, Nick Kypreos coming up next segment. And you guys, please tell me when I got to be out of this so we can get Kipper on. And, yeah, okay, thank you. And Zig Fracassi, SiriusXM NFL Radio coming up on hour 2. I didn't even barely even look at the comments here. How are you doing over there? Do you have anything to say for yourself?
I'm doing great. No, John Kirby's really upset this morning. Wondering why we're not on Twitch and why we're on YouTube. I could address that really quickly. I might as well. I'm in a giving mood. We've actually had conversations with Twitch. But Twitch has very, very strict rules about playing advertisements and making money and restreaming on television. All these things would not be able to happen if we were on Twitch. You can only be on Twitch. And then 24 hours later, you can be in other places.
Oh, yeah.
Now they've got other things where they work on that too, but we've had conversations like that. For us, today, right now, YouTube is what's best for us.
Yeah.
So,
Twitch came to me very early on when I changed jobs. And
maybe in the future.
It's funny. When I said Flames fans don't rub it in people's faces, clearly that got a reaction from the Puck and Pigskin podcast, Calgary. Ha ha, Oilers fans aren't doing that. Are you on Twitter after an Oilers game? Yes, I am. But this is the next day, and you're still rubbing it in our face. Just enjoy the wins, that's all. I know you've both been through a lot of crap. I get it. I feel like it would not be very difficult to insert ourselves in the middle of the Battle of Alberta real easy. Mm-hmm. But I'm not picking a side. You guys can snip at each other. I don't want to pick one or the other. I'm okay with being the go-between and the referee in that. How about you?
Yeah. I'm pretty comfortable on the fence, as you know.
Yeah.
In a lot of
I'm not. It hurts. It hurts. The Puck and Pigskin podcast goes on to say, I've said it before, I'll say it again, that CFL Bet Regal commercial is the best CFL hype ad I have ever seen in all my years as a CFL fan. Hey, CFL, take notes. There was what the best video that I ever saw for the CFL was It's Our League.
Yeah.
And they talked about, I'd have to go back and look at it. It's been a long time since I watched it. But they talked about the China Clipper, it's Normie Kwong, and they talked about, a lot of legendary CFL guys, a lot of different nationalities of guys that have played in the league and so forth, and the nicknames of the team. And then after the fact, the regime changes in the CFL headquarters are like, but it's not inclusive. What do they want?
Trying to please everybody, you please.
Try and please everybody, you please nobody.
Yeah.
John Kirby in Edmonton watching. Thanks for joining us again, John. He says, what do you guys think the CFL needs to do next season to try and get more fans to attend in person? I don't know. I don't care. That's their job, not mine. Patrolman Pete in Winnipeg. This is our league. Yeah, that video was great. Come on down to YouTube and have a look at that one. This is our league. It's amazing. I love it. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Flames are getting higher and y'all are getting burned. What?
Of course, he's here after a win.
Post-game trash talk.
He was here after the loss, too.
How about that?
Can you just enjoy the wins? Mind you, I get pretty cocky when the Dallas Cowboys win. Right?
Oh, yeah.
My cousin Christine in Medicine Hat's watching. She says, anyone else watching the Rivalry series? What is it?
Am I missing something?
Yeah, no. But like I say, I was out in Notre Dame last night, and I enjoyed every single second of my time in Notre Dame College last night. You said that. You were watching the social media. What made it look so fun to you? I was just having a good time.
But that's where hockey is. Hockey is born in Saskatchewan.
The Mecca.
It's the Mecca.
That's why.
It's the Mecca. And it's just, when you get at that level, we know, I mean, it's less corporate, right? It's those guys really put in the work. Everybody does. But, I mean, that's hockey at its roots. It's all about the hockey.
That's why I enjoyed it.
Cold barns, kids who just want to play, looking for an opportunity, riding the bus. They're not on planes.
People love these stories so much.
It's amazing.
Here's the thing. Down in South Florida, I got a friend by the name of Brian Dodge. He's the mayor of Dodge City. And we were sitting around one day by the pool, and he goes, I wish we had as much hockey down here as you guys have up there. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, you got major, junior, junior A, junior B, junior C, triple A midget, double A midget, single A midget, blah, 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 all this. I'm like, university, men's, women's. And I'm like, dang, yeah, we do. I never thought about it. So sometimes it was leaving for a while to appreciate what we do have, because you just kind of take that stuff for granted, right?
Yeah.
And they have it for football down there, and I think that's pretty cool. But situated here on the NHL's Bermuda Triangle, it's really cool to be here if you're a hockey person. And can I tell you a funny story that I did not tell you?
Okay.
I went there to the Dunk, which is the rink in Notre Dame, fully expecting to get a rink burger, because they're pretty darn good there, right?
Yeah.
In Wilcox, Saskatchewan. They didn't have any hamburgers on. They had hot dogs on, though.
Okay.
So at the start of the night, there was an older lady teaching a younger lady the till and how to stick the thermometer in the hot dogs and run the show.
Yeah.
She seemed very nervous. The young girl seemed very nervous. And it's intimidating.
I've been there.
Right. We've all been there. We've all worked in the concession at the rink. So I had my usual Diet Coke, hot dog, street meat. And then I came back after the second period, and I had a Diet Coke and Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. And who was running the till? But the young girl. And I said, how's your first day going? And she goes, better than expected.
Wow.
And the older lady, let's call her Flo, she was standing off to the side. She's like, well, it's not rocket science. That's why I go. It's not for the hocky.
She's excited.
That's for the stories.
It's her first day.
Right.
She's like, I'm getting it. Well, it's not rocket science.
Can you just see it? Can you just see it?
Suck the wind right out of the sails, eh? She's excited. It's her first day. She's got a job. She's working the till, taking money, customers. Yeah. Anybody can do it.
Okay. It's time to get serious again. Where are we? Jeff, the Stamps fan, says Reese's Peanut Butter Cups are his poison. Do you mean like your kryptonite? Because they're mine too. Damian DeMesa, watching on YouTube, says, as an American fan of the Calgary Stampeders and the CFL, I don't want it to change to adapt to America, but I would love to see them play XFL, USFL, kind of like Major League Baseball when Canada plays under CFL rules. He's saying depending on the park you're in, you play the rules of where you're in. Let's wait until the offseason to talk about the future of the CFL.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? The poll question today for Capital Automall Universal Collision Center, speak of the devil, is which is Canada's game of the week in the Canadian Football League this year? And here are your options. Friday night doubleheader, Calgary at Ottawa, Hamilton at Edmonton. Saturday doubleheader, BC at Toronto, Sask at Montreal. And shocking, Sask at Montreal is leading a rematch of the 2009 and 2010 Grey Cups.
Spicy.
Without Winnipeg in the poll,
right,
becomes a pretty easy choice, I think, for our viewers.
Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says, hey, Rod and Dupes, will the SJHL and MJHL, are they going to play for the Anavet Cup this year? Yes, they will. They did away with that silly little regional, what did they call that thing? Little tournament.
Yeah.
And the Anavet Cup is back between the winners of Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Nugsy wants to know, how was the dog? The hot dog was 7 out of 10.
Oh.
Maybe 6.5.
Okay.
The bun was split when I got it. You know what I mean? Yes.
That's instantly,
that's a foul.
You lose 2.5 points.
That's a foul. And then I spilled ketchup everywhere. By the way, the older lady in the concession, we started to have a rapport as the evening went along. Because the lady that said, it's not rocket science, I came back later in the third period and I said, I spilled ketchup all over these brand new pants. Could I get a hot, soapy rag? No problem. She went to the back of the concession, did it all, gave it to me. Fixed it all up, and she goes, did I do the trick? I said, better than it was before. Thank you.
How about
that? I feel like I want to go back there soon.
Yeah. People. That makes a difference.
People. You know, there's a Tiger King 2 coming out.
I've heard. I don't know if I'm going to watch. What we talked about this. Somebody mentioned it, and you're like, "What's it going to like? It's going to just be him in jail? Is he going to be like?"
You got to tune in to find out.
I guess. And you know what? I'll probably tune in.
Well, of course you're going to. What else you got to do?
Although we were talking about that too last night. I was coaching hockey with my little cousin, and Yellowstone's like 10 days away.
Yeah, he said less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Clark, I missed. You said something? Am I to break? Okay. Randolph Zora in Ontario says she probably wanted your autograph, Rod. That's why she was nervous. Nah. I'm pretty sure she doesn't know who I am. But maybe. I mean, I was raised 9 miles away from there. But you've been with me enough. I always roll with the assumption that nobody knows who I am.
Right.
Which is probably, over the years, not necessarily a good thing. I should probably assume that everybody knows who I am. Do you know what I mean? I probably should have just assumed that, but I don't. I'm the opposite. So, Jennifer at the Four Seasons is watching. She says, I miss those Wiener Wednesdays. At Pat's games, it's 2-for-1 hot dogs all night. How many do you think you could put down? It's not as many as you think.
No, like 4 would be a lot.
I did 5.5.
Yeah.
And I was in the bathroom.
Spicy.
Depends on the bun. If it's a nice soft bun.
Can we get Joey Chestnut on the air? Is he on Twitter?
Oh, how about that?
We got to get him on and find out what his secret is to scarfing hot dogs.
Yeah.
Joey Chestnut. From Patrolman Pete. How many times did you go to the concession to build such a rapport, Rod? I want to say 4. The arena wasn't exactly packed, okay? Let's break, and we'll get back on track with Nick Kypreos. We'll talk about the Chicago Blackhawks thing. I'm not laughing. Tank Abbott's watching in the Energy City and says, you're just the football guy. Ha ha. Well, that's what the football people think, but no, the hockey's in my DNA. It's like breathing to me. Kipper joins us next. We got viewer takeover coming up. It's a real fun hump day here on episode 600, by the way. Do we have anything fun planned?
Hey. Well, I've got some time in the commercial break because I just learned it was episode 600.
Free G2G bars after the show for everybody. You're watching on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Hey, Dawn.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services, and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues. It is the 600th episode of the RP show here on the Game Plus television network. Pleased to welcome in Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos. He of 442 NHL games, best-selling author of Undrafted, which I loved. Thank you very much. Kipper, I appreciate you joining us on somewhat short notice. We're going to talk today about the Chicago Blackhawks situation. It's been about 24 hours since it really hit the fan news-wise. What's the ripples in your world? What are you hearing out of that report?
Well, it's just really still the start of it, to be quite honest with you. And there will be a ripple effect. And again, peeling the onion and getting down to the core here and who still knew what. And that's an investigation that's ongoing now with the National Hockey League. It's our understanding that Joel Quenneville will meet with Gary Bettman in New York as early as tomorrow. And we'll see what comes from that. But there's a ripple effect that's going to land on the doorstep of the Florida Panthers and maybe to a certain degree the Winnipeg Jets as well with Kevin Cheveldayoff.
Yeah, I've given my thoughts on that. I mean, those guys, two good men, in my opinion, that got caught up in a situation that isn't their fault. They're not the perpetrator here. That's my thoughts on that. People will think this is a callous question, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. The Blackhawks are 0-5-1. Do you think that has anything to do with this ongoing investigation?
How can it not, Rod? Like when you just look at what's been going on in that organization the last 6 months, 12 months. I got to believe that absolutely it all has a weight of intertwining, and they were an organization that was kind of unraveling a little bit last year, and I think what we're seeing is just now the true look of the Chicago Blackhawks on where they are as an organization, and that's the bottom of the barrel.
I don't know. We've been around this game a long time. I don't know where you stand on this, Kipper. I got notifications going off today. ESPN now saying, Mike Greenberg saying, this taints the Blackhawks Stanley Cup championship in 2010. Where do you fall on that argument?
Well, I'm not quite there. At the end of the day, there's a certain amount of people that have led that charge, but that had really nothing to do with the on-ice product. And again, I'm not speaking on terms of who knew what, because I'm not privileged to that. And we didn't get that in the report in terms of where Kane and Taves and Keith and Seabrook and all the rest of them stood on all of that. But they won the Stanley Cup. and they did what they needed to do on the ice. I'm not sure about the tainted part in terms of the guys that worked their asses off to win that thing. I'm not there. I'm not there.
I'm not either. I couldn't agree more. And be honest, I got some really good friends that were on that team, and this didn't even come to light within the club until just before the Stanley Cup final. I don't think they should be tied in with each other at all. Hey, on to a brighter topic. I appreciate you addressing that. You're back on Sportsnet, and yeah. How'd this all come about?
Well, I was at the end of my contract when I shut it down for about a year and a half, 2 years, and it seemed like a pretty good time for me to catch my breath. Of course, then the pandemic comes, and the world kind of changed on us. Then this summer, I got a call. I got into a conversation on, would you be willing to come back and be a part of our Rogers family again? And I'm like, well, I mean, happy to listen. And, you know, the one thing that has really been consistent with me, Rod, the last, my career in hockey and my career in broadcasting is, you know, a new challenge. And this was a new challenge because it was on the digital side, constructing a show that would go podcast, live streaming, and of course, still on air on the Fan 590 here in Toronto. So it was a new challenge, a good challenge. They put me with Justin Bourne, who, of course, represents a younger demographic with the analytics and all of that. And I'm not really quite there yet to make believe that it's the be-all, end-all, and neither is Justin, to be fair to him. But it takes me into a new world, and I'm happy for the challenge, and I'm glad that I've got a daily show now. So it's called Real Kipper and Bourne. You can download it on any of your platforms, and please give us a listen.
Yeah, Bourne, good friend of mine. His father, Bob, of course, 4-time Stanley Cup champion with the Islanders in the pride of Netherhill, Saskatchewan. Kipper, last question.
Tough as nails, Rod. Tough as nails.
I don't know if I go that.
No?
Justin or Bob?
Okay.
Justin or Bob?
Bob.
Oh,
Bob.
Yeah.
No?
No.
I heard he had a good left.
Maybe. All I ever saw was his right. So, what is the biggest story in the NHL this season, Kipper, in the time we got about 2.5 minutes here? What's the biggest story?
Well, I think, we just discussed Chicago. No question they sit at the top of the mountain right now, but right underneath them, and coincidentally, they play each other tonight. I think it's the Toronto Maple Leafs and what's going on here, and whether or not you want to read into 2-4-1 doesn't look horrible, but when you have watched them and you've been kind of programmed to believe that they are a contending Stanley Cup team, you haven't seen that in the first 7 games. And now people are questioning where they are in their program and where Brendan Shanahan is after 7 seasons of not getting out in the first round. People are starting to really ask the question, how bad are they? And for a team that's supposed to still be in the wheelhouse of trying to win a Stanley Cup, I think it's a big story that they have not shown that to start the season.
Yeah, but Kipper, you said programmed to believe. You're mixing the Kool-Aid out there. Who's programming? You're smart enough to see with your own eyes. Who's perpetuating this story that they're a Stanley Cup contender, do you think?
You want to start with Vegas and the betting lines over the last few years and where they had Toronto to win the Stanley Cup? Let's start there. Because that's the perception, is when you spend $40 million on 4 top scorers that you should contend for the Stanley Cup. So you just go read the reviews the last few years on where this team is, and it would point to a team that should contend. And, I've looked at them. I've always been a believer that you cannot put $40 million in 4 forwards and expect to have a well-balanced lineup. And that holds true up until Game 7. We'll see where they go from here, but right now it's anything but a contending team.
Fun to watch Everybody loves slowing down to see the accident on the freeway, right?
On the 401 here in Toronto.
Exactly. Kepper, appreciate the time as always. Congrats on the new gig. We'll be listening and watching and enjoy the games, my friend.
Appreciate the time. Thanks, guys.
Sportsnet's Nick Kypreos joining us from Toronto. We'll be back with Viewer Takeover right after this. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Roughriders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rob.
Welcome back, everybody. No Moose in this segment, just me, just you and me. And get your comments in on whatever you want to talk about. I said viewer takeovers at hand. The Prairie Mobile text line is open, too, and I see that we have a few. Sheesh, I got a text here from Switzerland. Ryan Kowalik texting from Switzerland. How about that? Watching while making supper, enjoying my evening sports news. Well, Ryan, thanks for watching all the way over in Switzerland. Well, did you hear what happened in the World Series? Jorge Soler became the first player in World Series history to begin a World Series with a home run, and the Braves beat the Houston Astros 6-2 Tuesday night, boosted by a strong bullpen effort, a 2-run homer by Adam Duvall, and a late sac fly from Freddie Freeman. The Braves coasted in their first series appearance since 1999. Game 2 goes tonight in Houston, and of course, Charlie Morton done for a series for the series. Was it broken fibula or tibia, Clark? Doesn't matter. Broken leg. Lisa's. Say what? Charlie Morton. But that's fine. We'll just say a broken leg. At least they survived and won. Did last night's baseball game, was it really long? Because when I rolled into Notre Dame College, the game was just starting. And when I rolled out and contemplated going down either 4 Mile Road or back down 39 around Kareen, the ball game was still on. I'm like, we sandwiched a hockey game in the middle of this World Series Game 1. Looks like I missed a lot. There are 5 games around the NHL tonight, and 2 feature Canadian teams. Up first, the struggling Toronto Maple Leafs are in Chicago. We should talk about that a little bit more coming back in hour 2 for Core Grain. How about Chicago having to play at home tonight after all of this mess? And I think we're starting to see, or at least I think, why Jeremy Colleton hasn't been fired yet, despite a 0-5-1 start, their head coach. Because they got bigger fish to fry, right? Who's going to fire him? Stan Bowman quit yesterday. Later on tonight, Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers welcome the Philadelphia Flyers. Rematch of the 1987 Stanley Cup Final. And the return of Carter Hart to his hometown. He blew up the last time they were in there, Philly. So this will be worth watching tonight on Sportsnet. OG Anunoby and the Toronto Raptors host the Indiana Pacers tonight at Scotiabank Arena. Anunoby leads the Raptors with 17.5 points per game this season. Toronto is 1-3 so far this season, with all 3 losses coming at home. Clark just told me in my ear that we have like 90 seconds left. You know what we need to get sponsored? Last minute of hour 1. The last minute. Every hockey team sponsors it. Can we get on that, you guys? Last minute of hour 1. Last minute. Corinne Brown of Kamloops, BC, scored 4 in the 6th inning and 3 in the 9th to beat Justin Murphy of Mississauga 11-5 Tuesday night in the 6th draw of Canada's Olympic curling pretrials. Brown improved to 3-0 with a win and sits atop Pool A of the women's tournament. The sports update for Ballers Rec Room. Check out our brand new line of games. Book your group or business Christmas party now for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store where you'll never have to ask to get the CFL game put on. And for Red Bull Canada, Red Bull gives you wings. Well, when we come back in hour 2 for Core Grain, it'll be a lot of what you want to talk about. Tonight's NHL games, whatever's popping in the CFL, that's our poll question today. What is Canada's game of the week? Let's light up the text line. It's the busiest time of year in sports. Let's talk about it. Coming back in hour 2 on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Addiction. It destroys relationships, families, and lives. It makes individuals and the people who love them feel powerless. But the good news is that addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery, with holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Winnipeg, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center. Recovery for life. Visit aurorarecoverycenter.com for more information today.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
At Core Grain, we strive to be the most qualified grain storage and grain conditioning experts in Canada. Visit us today at coregrain.ca. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
The Toronto Argonauts have traded quarterback Nick Fatty Arbuckle to the Edmonton Elks. Why? Let's play a little word association here. Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay. Patrick Mahomes,
Kansas City.
Dak Prescott,
Cowboys.
Ben Roethlisberger,
Steelers.
Nick Arbuckle, Calgary, Ottawa, Toronto, Edmonton, all within a year. This is, to me, this is why the CFL struggles with credibility.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah, we set sail into hour 2 of the RP show, coming at you live on Game Plus TV. No matter what your cable carrier is. A lot of people finding us on the Amazon Fire Stick, we have found out in the last 24 hours. And live streaming as well on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to show the world, guys, there's no moose. The moose is represented by a stuffed moose on the coffee table here. Producer Clark just whizzed by just before we came on the air in hour 2 and said, Moose is on a phone call. So here we are, just you and me. But that's fine. I said, there he is. Okay, let's get this on. No, show him. Show him. Oh. You're not going to get away with that.
How about that?
I tried.
Which is absolutely no formality here to what we do here. It's what's fun. As my brother said, what I love about your show is anything can break out at any time.
That's right.
And it has. Let's be honest. Hey, so I got an email here from the Florida Panthers, Moose. You want to know what's going on tonight with the Boston Bruins in town?
I do.
At a FLA Live Arena. The Panthers tonight, the National Hockey League's best team, by the way. I said that, not them. Will honor head equipment manager Teddy Richards in a pregame ceremony tonight for having worked 1,500 professional hockey games.
Wow.
It's a lot of hockey.
How about that?
Tonight from 6 till 10 p.m., fans can donate $5 to the Florida Panthers Foundation to enter the Haunted House and Chairman's Club on suite level at FLA Live Arena. Doesn't that sound like fun? Hey?
It does.
Tonight's City Furniture military hero is Beth Grauer. Here's Beth. She'll be honored tonight She served in the United States Marine Corps from 2002 to 2017 with deployments in support of Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2005 and 2007. She's the recipient of the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal, Iraq Campaign Medal with 3 stars, and Combat Action Ribbon. She'll be honored tonight, Moose. She'll get a standing ovation from the assembled crew at the FLA Live Arena tonight. This is what the Panthers are sending me now. I just can't wait to see them.
Yeah,
again.
Of course.
But this is how you do it. This is what's going on tonight. This is what you need to know. And by the way, one of our viewers checking in from Calgary, the General, he wasn't here yesterday. We were talking about Game 1 of the World Series and how long it was. And he says, I was watching the Flames, so I didn't see the baseball game. Hey, I get it, brother. You, again, I don't think you were here last hour when I said I was rolling into Wilcox last night, and the game was on 1190 CFSL. Today's country favorites.
Good.
Yeah, well, they were just getting going, and then when I left the hockey game, they were still going. That's
game.
too long.
Too long. Way
That's the one big criticism of baseball, hey?
They have not adapted. Football has done a good job. Hockey, they're trying to get games in 2 to 2.5 hours. They've, for whatever reason, figured out that's the sweet spot of your attention. When it gets to 3 hours, you're like, oh, okay.
That's the truth.
You lose people. You lose television viewers. Ticket sales go down. And when you get to 4 hours, like, forget about it.
Interesting. I'm trying to keep this on the rails, but one of the viewers on YouTube, Mark Sports Video, writes in and says, but who will be coaching the Panthers? And he's talking about Joel Quenneville, the NHL's second all-time winningest head coach, who's been implicated in the Chicago Blackhawks scandal. Darren read the entire 68-page investigation. I've read the Coles notes of it. We both feel that Joel Quenneville will not miss a game. I feel that way. You're saying that?
Yeah, and what we found out, well, it came out a couple hours ago, I think, but maybe before. Quenneville is said to be meeting with Gary Bettman tomorrow. We think it's going to be in New York. The NHL, I believe, wants to get this dealt with quickly. They don't want this lingering over a hockey season. They don't want uncertainty about Quenneville or Kevin Cheveldayoff lingering for a long period of time. So if they're going to meet tomorrow, I would expect that meeting to happen, and then Gary Bettman to have some sort of resolution very soon.
Cool. But the way I look at it, it's been 11 years, guys. Don't rush it now. Get it right. That's my take on that. But I get it. But I don't think Quenneville's going to miss any games, nor Chevy. And by the way, the Jets have won, 4 points in 4 straight and 3 in a row. Jim Wagner writes us on the Prairie Mobile text line at 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And Jim says, happy 600, RP crew. It's our 600th episode today. Roddy, you always say you need to get the show back on track, but most would agree that your best moments are the off-script meanderings and stories. Good day, all. Maybe we should do a poll on that. What's your favorite part of the show? Rod's meandering stories or the actual sports talk? I think we weave a nice blend of both.
Mm-hmm.
On the baseball, because it is the World Series, Charlie Morton spun a curveball past Jose Altuve for a called third strike, his 16th pitch after taking a 102-mile-an-hour comebacker off his right leg. Charlie stumbled, started to fall. Turns out the leg was broken. It was his right fibula. You're right. It was fractured by Yuli Gurriel's one-hop screamer leading off the second inning of Tuesday's World Series opener. A ball hit so hard it ricocheted to first baseman Freddie Freeman for an out. By the time Morton faced Altuve leading off the third with a 5-0 lead, the leg had already started to swell. 4 relievers combined to pitch 6 2/3 innings and finish a 6-2 victory over the Houston Astros. Charlie Morton's World Series is over barely after it started. Houston skipper Dusty Baker saying after the game, Moose, you don't wish bad on anybody. Charlie Morton is one of the best guys around. Game 2 goes tonight in Houston. So that's the story that everybody's talking about there. Ray is watching in the 6, Southern Ontario, Toronto area. Hi, Rod. I'm a big baseball guy, but To your point, the games are way too long. How do they get younger fans with 4-hour games? Big fan of baseball, not a fan of how it's played now. Video review on every second play, 8 to 9 pitchers every game. Something has to change. They have been talking about that, Darren, have they not, for the last 3, 4, 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
And nothing's changed.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, they did the putting a guy on second for the 10th inning and on.
Yeah.
But they're stopped doing that.
I know. And that's the thing, with baseball, it's America's pastime. It's the tradition of it. It's such a historic game, so they don't want to change it. But you got to find a way to speed it up. And not that you're going to put a shot clock, so to speak, on every pitch, put a count, a timer on it. Got to have the pitch delivered and limit, managers coming to the mound and time between innings. I don't know. It's very rare where the majority of fans can sit there for 4 hours. Like in the most intense moments, and it's your team and it's a World Series, I can see it. But it's rare, and you're losing fans, and you're not adapting, and they don't see it. The baseball purists won't see it.
They won't.
Because a purist in anything thinks there's nothing wrong.
You got to bring some marketers in.
But you got to bring some outside influence in, yeah.
John in Edmonton from the 780 writes in on the Prairie Mobile text line, and he says, love your show, but I'm moving to YouTube. Facebook or Twitch would be better. YouTube isn't great for live content. John, you just watch. We'll do the talking and the planning. How about that? Brian Dodge is watching from South Florida, from Dodge City. He says, Rod, 600 episodes. Tom Brady, 600 touchdowns. Coincidence? I think not. How about that?
How about that?
Whoa. Thank you,
Good
Brian.
one, Rod.
And as I say, can't wait to see you all again. I'm missing it. Getting these emails from the Panthers. Here's what's going on tonight.
Get that cut for the Insta story ASAP. I can see an LFG GIF in there with Brady. Let's go.
LFG. Oh, by the way, every Monday night, Tom Edward Brady does this radio interview with Jim Gray prior to the Monday Night Football radio broadcast. And you know what they call the show? Let's Go. They just took out the effing.
LFG.
Yeah. Let's Go, starring Jim Gray and Tom Brady, brought to you by Ring Security. Why do I even remember that? Because I'm a Tom Brady groupie. Jennifer from the Four Seasons Sports Palace watching, she says, new pitchers have to face at least 3 batters as well instead of changing pitchers after every batter. From Paolo on YouTube says, keep all of baseball's traditional rules, but shorten the games to 7 innings. Didn't curling do this? Did they shorten their games in the big spiels?
Well, they tried for a little bit. The curlers don't like it, but the idea of it, but they're thinking about it. They talked about it. I don't know if it's going to be permanent or not, but I don't know if that would solve it. I mean, 7 innings is great, but we're already upset that pitchers don't pitch 7 innings. Starting pitchers don't pitch 7 innings anymore. It's not what we grew up with, but.
It's 11-11, or in the East, 1-11. Your dreams are being manifested. Just open yourself up to them and receive. My cousin Christine's watching in Medicine Hat, and she says, talking sports, 600 shows. Wow. Let's take a second and pat ourselves on the back and Ricky ourselves. People didn't think that we were going to make 6 shows, let alone 600 shows, and now here we are on national television. There's Ricky the Iguana. We got to get him out of the cage.
We really do.
Can you put him up again? Our mascot, Rick, can you put him on the screen, please? Ricky the Iguana. Can you put him? There you go. Look at that guy. Where's the mascot costume, by the way? Let's get it in the break, and I might put Ricky's hat on.
Okay.
The Pats are home Saturday night to the Swift Current Broncos, and I think we need to get Ricky out of the cage and get him down there. Shoot, you paid enough money for the outfit.
I know.
I wanted Darren's mom to sew the costume. Shoot, she offered. Right?
She's going to sew Monty the squirrel. Is that the one?
Well, we have the main mascot, Ricky the iguana, and then we have the secondary mascot Monty the squirrel, who shaves his nuts with a Manscaped.
Just hold on to his little nuts.
Exactly. Were we going to talk sports at any point today? You know why I think baseball hasn't changed is because nobody can agree on what needs to change.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you another little hockey story. There was a goal disallowed last night in the dunk, and I was broadcasting the game with Nugsy, and we couldn't figure out why it was disallowed. So after the second period, I went over and hung my face over the rail. I said to the referee in chief, "Why did they wave that goal off?" And there was 2 NHL scouts sitting there, and they said, the SJHL has not adopted the NHL rule and WHL rule that you can now kick the puck into the crease. It would be nice if all these leagues adopted one rule book. And they're close. It's not like football where they're all over hell.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't it be nice?
Oh, be amazing. I mean, hockey, I mean, the game is the same for the most part everywhere you go. You know, you move up the same level. Everything should be, you know, very consistent. And I would like to see those rules the same for sure. Absolutely. It makes sense. It's not like you're playing on different field sizes. I mean, yes, there's different rink sizes and stuff, but the game is the same. 5-on-5, puck, stick, you go to town.
That's why that's why I do the games, is to go out there and, as I said last hour, visit on the front lines with the coaches, the players, the referees, the concession workers, the popcorn vendors, the peanut salesmen. What do they say? The peanut vendors are standing up to them. Brent Kuhlman, watching on Facebook, says, what's most impressive in your 600 shows is how you guys were able to do this without any sports being played because of the pandemic. No spit, huh? I swear, we went 4 months without any sports last summer, and I said, if we can survive this, we can survive anything. We went to national television in the middle of this damn pandemic at the start of it.
I know.
We can survive anything. By the way, I see that there was a comment here from Northside YEG, and he's been commenting a lot, and I appreciate him. He said, what if it's the Flames and the Oilers battling for top spot in the Pacific? I'm not sure what he's referring to, but we should talk about the battle that's going on in the Pacific Division right now. And he also talked about next year's Battle of Alberta in the Canadian Football League, featuring Bo Levi Mitchell of the Calgary Stampeders and Nick Arbuckle of the Edmonton Elks. And last hour, Jack, if you're still watching, Jack in Vulcan, Alberta wrote in and said, prayers up to Nick Arbuckle and his family. And I didn't know why. Is that because they've been traded to Edmonton? What's the deal? We can get in. We can sink into some of that CFL talk if you want. Our poll question today, by the way, for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, which is Canada's game of the week in the Canadian Football League? Calgary at Ottawa, Hamilton at Edmonton, BC at Toronto in the Brayley Bowl, or Sask at Montreal. Then running away with it is the rematch of the 2009 and 10 Grey Cups. Riders, Alouettes, late Saturday afternoon. I don't think that poll is going to be challenged. There is 0 votes for Calgary at Ottawa, by the way.
0.
The rematch of the 2016 Grey Cup. So it's a little bit of a chicken and the egg thing. It's like, are we going to talk about that game to raise a little profile for it, or are we just going to ignore it entirely because nobody cares? See the catch-22?
I do.
And we'll examine it far further on Football Friday, by the way, when the voice of the Red Blacks, AJ Jakovic, joins us. Aaron Jacob, my good friend. Shane Mellinson, whom I love, from Deer Valley. Golf and Estate says, congrats on the 600 Club. Rare accomplishment. Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that, and we appreciate their support as one of our first sponsors. We'll continue this when we come back, all right? And coming up, Zig Fracassi from SiriusXM NFL Radio in Manhattan. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus Television Network. 600th episode today. YouTube and Facebook Live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Matt, how's it going? We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming at the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It is a big day, bigger than even Moose understood. You didn't even know it was our 600th day, so I guess there will be no party. There will be no shenanigans. You made a far bigger deal out of the 100th show.
That was a big deal.
Why? You didn't think we'd make it that far?
It's like an airplane getting to 100 feet, you know?
Right.
It's just like, once you get to 100 feet off the ground, they put it in cruise, they put it in autopilot, and you climb the rest of the way on autopilot.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot of work to get off the ground.
Right.
Right. But once you get in the air, it's just cruise control.
Now we're at 30,000 feet.
Right. But like 1,000 shows will be a big deal. That's like reaching your reaching our destination, but that's like.
Can we get up and move around or
getting somewhere? We are free to move about the cabin, as you see, coming in and out of the chairs in the middle of segments and whatnot.
I was flying out of Calgary last week, and you know this story. And anybody that's traveled with me on a bus or plane will know that within 60 seconds, I'm the flight attendant. Excuse me, sir. Your mask is not covering your nose.
I just fell asleep.
I was the only one in the row. From Deb in Toronto, watching on the Prairie Mobile text line, on Game Plus, she writes on the Prairie Mobile text line, I pat you all on the back. Talking sports, stories, and other things is the perfect combo. Congratulations on 600. Thank you, Deb. I'd like to meet Deb sometime. Are we ever going to have a party in downtown Toronto for the show?
We could.
I got a few places that we could go. Not Gretzky's, though, because they closed it.
Yeah, it's too bad.
Oof. Randy from the 204 writes in. Randy from the Peg. Congratulations on 600. Ice, another win, 10-0. Calgary Hitman, the next victim tonight. Randy from the... Who'd they beat 10-0? And does it even matter? They're kicking the dog snot out of everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Can the Winnipeg Ice beat the Toronto Maple Leafs? Remember that guy in Switzerland? Was it Ryan?
Yes.
He texts and says, no, it's 7-11. Not 11-11. 7-11 where he is.
Good.
You can let it roll. You don't need to try to cut it off.
Oh, good one, Rod.
Right. So if it's 7-11, I would hope that you're taking a big gulp. Such a cliche and not even my question, but why does 7-Eleven have locks on the doors? Why?
I know. 24. They're open 24 hours a day.
You've thought of that, right?
Yeah.
And Christmas, too.
Interesting.
Have you never thought about that?
Security, just in case.
Just in case the world's ending and they need to lock the doors, just in case.
Yeah.
From the 403. Prairie Mobile text line. Great show. If they want to speed up baseball, how about making the pitchers come in ready to go? No warm-ups like hockey has done with the goalies. It would be a start. It would be a start. It's like you were just in the bullpen. Why do you need to warm up on the mound for? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of goalies, November 1st is National Goalies Day. Can we all make a note of that? Can you write that down? Clark, can we get some goalies on the air that day? I'm thinking maybe Kelly Rudy, Chico Resch. That's next Monday.
Good.
National Goalies Day. Finally, a support that I can get behind, a movement.
We will make a big deal about that.
From Mark Sports Video on YouTube. Why does 7-Eleven have 2 doors and lock 1? I know, right? I mean, they're like every day. From Metal Shingle Guy, wow, 600 shows. You guys are still rising. Congrats. From Metal Shingle Guy. Thank you. From Ward in the 204, watching on Game Plus. Congrats on your 600 show. Sorry I missed 550 of them. LOL. Ward in Winnipeg. Well, we got you now. That's the main thing. How about those Jets? Did I go through and delete this? I don't think I might have. Last night's action in the National Hockey League, it was the game of the night, was the Winnipeg Jets in Anaheim. And they're done now with the Ducks, as you know. I'm just trying to find it here. Nikolai Ehlers scoring twice, 19 seconds apart in the third as Winnipeg rallied over Anaheim 4-3. Connor Hellebuck made 32 saves for the Jets, who've won 3 in a row. Let's talk about something that matters here, and that is the National Hockey League. So it took, what are we now, the 27th. The first game was on the 12th. So we're 2 weeks into the season. See how things are starting to stabilize? Montreal's going to be junk. They're going to miss the playoffs. I told you I was listening to the Seattle Kraken postgame show last night with Benton on the mic. We got to get him, too. And if he was a goalie, that's a 2 birds with 1 stone thing. But they were saying Montreal, they were just ripping apart Montreal on the postgame. And I'm like, hey, boys, stop, cool it. You're the Seattle Kraken radio. Stop crapping on the Montreal Canadiens. Even if they deserve it. They were saying how the Habs fans want to blow everything up. And I'm like, what is there to blow up? They're talking about missing Shea Weber, missing Carey Price. Licorice Legs is gone. It doesn't even feel like the same team as went to the Stanley Cup last year.
I know. It really doesn't, and maybe that's it. Maybe it's, making sure that you go completely young, getting rid of everybody. If and when Carey Price returns to the team, seeing if there's somebody that will pick up that contract and completely starting over. But I don't know. I mean, it's still way too early for that kind of talk, even if this team is probably going to miss the playoffs. And that's not uncommon. Look what St. Louis did after getting to the Stanley Cup final and winning the Stanley Cup. They took a big step back. And now
look where they are.
Now they've recovered and away they go. Especially if you get to the Stanley Cup and lose, it's pretty rare that you get right back there. It does happen, but it's pretty rare, to the point where teams often take a massive step back and sometimes miss the playoffs altogether. It happens when you climb that mountain, put out all that emotion and energy and time and stress to get close to the championship and then lose. So it's not like a big shock that this would happen to Montreal.
Jeff Kozak writes in, he's a big Habs fan. He says, my Stanley Cup was this past year. At least I got to see them in the finals again. Yeah, I don't think they're getting back there in Carey Price's time. You know what I'm saying?
Be awful
Hope
tough.
you enjoyed it while it lasted. By the way, Randy, I see what he's saying. They didn't win 10-0. They went to 10-0 by beating the Red Deer Rebels 3-1 last night in the Centrium in Red Deer.
See.
That's a great barn. Story just came to mind that I think I'm not going to tell.
I can only imagine.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
It has to do with flying, and you know the story, flying out of there on the owner's plane.
Right.
Hell of a story, by the way.
Yeah.
I was doing local radio here. I was doing the Rough Riders play-by-play, and the Pats brought me in to do regional television for their playoff run. And I said, I can't. I got to do this radio show every day from 4 till 6:30 in the afternoon. How am I going to go to Red Deer and back to do hockey games? They said, we'll fly you. We got 2 planes. I'm like, I'm in. And then the story was what happened on one of those flights. And it was nothing real crazy at all. But these guys use their plane like you and I use our car.
Mm-hmm.
We lost out our car. We lost out, we being the Pats, because it'll always be we, don't at me. We lost out in Game 6 at Red Deer and stopped in Calgary on the way home to go to the Tilted Kilt. I'm like, what? It's not on the way home? Do you know what I mean?
It's not on the way home. No, when you're chartering your own flight.
Right. It was a 9-seater plane, and I was sitting sideways, buckled in, and the plane was taking off like that. It was the weirdest thing. And usually it's...
Right.
It's like... My face was like... The skin of my face was sucking back. It's cool as hell. Jenna Reagan... watching in Southern California. Happy to be here for the 600th, Rod. Congratulations. Congratulations to everybody. 600 episodes today.
How about that?
From Northside YEG says, I'll be at the Oilers game tonight. They should win this one. Philly can score, though. I'll be settled in to watch this one tonight. Edmonton-Philly rematch of the 1987 Stanley Cup Final. Karahat returns home. And like I said, he blew up. I think it was just the last time he got pulled. I'm hoping that a better start for him, if he does get the start. I would assume they'll start Karahat.
Yeah, big test for him. McDavid and Draisaitl, obviously. So it'll be good. It'll be really, really good. I'm really curious to see how he plays. Because he's still on that short list for Canadian goaltenders at the Olympics. We all want him to be the guy if Carey Price can't go, I think. But he's got to get his game to that level.
Before we have a few minutes here before we bring in Zig Fracassi. Somebody wrote in earlier, and are you still watching? Somebody said, Rod, what's your predictions for who's going to win the East and the West? And I'm like, what league? What are we talking about? Did you see that question?
Right.
Rod, what's your prediction to win the East and West Conference? CFL, NHL, WHL, what? NLL? From the Puck and Pigskin podcast. Sure is a great barn here in Red Deer. Hope you and Dupes make it out here in December when the Pats are in town. I can tell you right now that won't be happening. So plan for that. Todd Moggy's watching in Winnipeg and says, no, you're just giving all of us Winnipeggers a bigger head than we already have. How? I was talking about the Jets?
Yeah, I think so.
You people in Winnipeg are like Rider fans, Oiler fans, and maybe some other fans. It just happens to be that I've spent the majority of my life here in the Bermuda Triangle, so I've been observing you longer. But I've realized this. You have to discount anything Rider fans say. You have to discount anything Oiler fans say. And you have to discount anything Winnipeg Jets fans say. Because last week, can we roll back the tape? Boop, 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 boop. Get Maurice out of here. Get Chevy out of here. Come on. You said it. You did. I just don't listen to you anymore. I can't. Yeah. It's exhausting. Same thing with fire Dickinson, fire O'Day, fire Tippett, fire Holland, get rid of Mike Smith. Oh, that was me. But you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like in certain, and you notice I didn't say Calgary. They don't go like this. Unless you've seen something. Leaf fans, annoying because you're always up here. Always. Always.
Yeah. But consistent.
You are consistent. You know what I'm saying, though, right?
I do. 100%. You know, the ups and the downs. One day it's this, one day it's that. And, yeah, it's tough. I mean, I understand the fan bases that are that emotional, but it's hard to live like that.
I'm saying you do you. But I'm not going to get drawn into this because so many people they're DMing me. Who do you think will be the next coach of the Jets? Stop it. I'm not even responding. It's a waste of my time. Ryan in Saratoga, New York says, congrats to 600 episodes, friend. Here's to 600 more. Ryan, thank you for watching every single day from Saratoga, New York. Our NLL correspondent from down there, by the way, where the Firewolves get rolling here in December. Do we have Zig? Clark tells me he's attempting to log in. That sounds positive. Moose, we'll see you back here for overtime.
You bet.
Zig Fracassi joining us from New York. Next, you're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Hey, Matt, how's it going?
We have something really special.
Holy, it's pretty impressive.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Prairie Mobile is your SaskTel authorized dealer. Whether you're looking for talk, text, or data, shared, unlimited, or business plans, Prairie Mobile will help you find the SaskTel wireless plan that's right for you. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Experts in all residential and commercial plumbing services and proudly serving Regina and area since 1978. Bronco Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. We'll treat you right.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day. Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
In the heat of the summer, familiar sounds. Feel in the air, it's the best thing anywhere. Just give me back my game. 'Cause I live for the drama, I live for the emotion. No one can take me down, bring me back my football.
BetRegal.net, exclusive sports gaming partner of the CFL.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It's been 600 shows, guys. I think we can retire the he's back thing now that I think about it. Oh, I got you. Back at a commercial break, Clark says. We're going to switch gears and talk NFL here. We got a lot of things going on as we enter Week 8, and we welcome our longtime friend Zig Fracassi from SiriusXM NFL Radio. Zygmunt, happy Wednesday, sir. How are things?
Rod, good to be with you again, my friend. How are you?
100%. Your voice is booming. I love it. And I was going to ask what you were rocking today. Where did you get the BC Lions Every Child Matters t-shirt?
Actually, off their website. I know that, what was it, one of the broadcasts that they had on in the States here, they were selling these shirts, obviously, for the Indigenous children up there in British Columbia. And I'm like, you know what? That's really cool. So I went to the website and, you know, yeah, even though I'm media, I paid for something. But in all seriousness, it's for a great cause. They were sold out in the first batch, but then went back a few days later. They had them restocked, and it's an honor and a privilege to be able to sport something like this.
Good for you, Zig. You're a good man and very cool to the BC Lions to do that. Not like you're not sick of talking about it, but the number one topic on our radar here in Canada are those Kansas City Chiefs who fell to 3-4 with a beatdown at Tennessee on the weekend. Can we start there, Zig? It seems like everybody's asking, what's wrong with the Chiefs?
You know, and the thing about it, Rod, is I'm not so sure that this doesn't carry back to last year. Of course, we remember they got boat raced in the Super Bowl by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their home field. And, you know, there was the horrific tragedy involving the then assistant Britt Reed with that young girl at the time, forcing her to go into the hospital with the accident. And there's a narrative out there that some people think that maybe they haven't come back from that. I wouldn't totally dismiss that. You know, you wonder about the psyche of a team. You wonder about the sort of the temperature. I think a few things are also evident, too. They've had some injuries on defense, Chris Jones, among others. Charvarius Ward, the corners, one of their fine young corners. So their average defense is even more exposed. And I think offensively now, Rod, teams have figured them out in terms of you rush 4, you drop everyone else basically into coverage. and you try to make Patrick beat you that way. And he had multiple games of multiple interceptions. Now, a few of those have been through the hands of receivers, and they just happen to land into the hands of defensive backs. So some of those you can't control, but the game against Baltimore, he had that ill-advised late throw that led to the Ravens ultimately cashing in for the winning touchdown. There were a couple of other mistakes. There was one in the Washington game that they were able to get him out of the jackpot, so to speak. So I think there's a multitude of things here, Rod, why the Kansas City Chiefs don't look like the two-time defending AFC champions, and those are the ones that I just spelled out.
Right, and there usually are. It's not usually just one thing. But, Zig, Thursday Night Football is Green Bay at Arizona. Is this for NFL supremacy for 1 week at least? Will this prove who's the best team in the NFL, do you think?
I think it's a good shot, although Green Bay right now, they've got unfortunately, they may have their top three receivers out for this game. Obviously, Devontae Adams, and then Lazard just went on COVID-19. Now, if they activate Marquez Valdez-Scantling, then that helps Aaron Rodgers out a little bit. But, conceivably, Rod, they could be without their top three receivers. And even as the magic man that Aaron is, I'm not sure that he'd be able to survive that. Whereas Arizona, I think this is more of a game of we got to prove it. Sure, their record looks very, very good, and they did beat a very good Rams team in L.A., so if you wanted to give early MVP consideration, I think Kyler Murray's got to be at or top the list. You add a couple of veterans in, like a J.J. Watt, like an A.J. Green, to a already talented young base. I think for them, this is more of a prove-it type of game than Green Bay because the Packers have been to the NFC Championship game in recent years, whereas Arizona, this is their chance on a national stage to show that we're legit, that we're hungry, that we're really as good as the record suggests. So not that it doesn't mean less to Green Bay, but I think it means just a little more to Arizona.
Zig, AFC North, what's the bigger surprise? The Cleveland Browns struggles or the Cincinnati Bengals high achievements, I guess, better than we thought they'd be?
Yeah, I think both are, I guess, would be equal. But I think in the end, I saw the Bengals starting to ascend a little bit. Anybody can beat Detroit, it seems like nowadays. But the Bengals were off a tough loss to Green Bay the week before, a game that I thought they actually should have won. But you look at it, and they didn't sulk. This wasn't one of those games, well, geez, Detroit can sneak up and beat us. And then they did a number on them. And then, Rod, to be able to basically contain Lamar Jackson like they did. He got his yards, but they didn't allow the points. And he was sacked 5 times. So defensively, I thought they were more of a surprise there. And that combination of Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase, which worked so well at LSU, leading them to that national championship a couple of years ago. I think a lot of people are eating crow about the fact that the Bengals probably should have taken Penei Sewell, the Oregon tackle, instead of Chase because the Bengals' offensive line ain't all that good. So I would say that they're a surprise, but I'm not overly surprised, maybe more to Cleveland. And, you got a lot in play there. You've had some injuries. Obviously, Baker Mayfield's impacted by this left shoulder injury, Rod, even though that it's his non-throwing shoulder. I think it affects his timing, his rhythm. It's something that he's constantly thinking about. And I got to wonder before long if, you don't want to do any further damage to this young man, do they wind up shutting him down? And the variable there is Case Keenum, who did a nice job on Thursday night against the Denver Broncos, who, oh, by the way, in his career year with the Minnesota Vikings, when he took them to the NFC Championship a few years ago, his offensive coordinator was Kevin Stefanski, who now happens to be the head coach there with the Cleveland Browns. But a lot was expected of them. You add Clowney to Garrett for that defense. They made some other real nice additions there. I thought they'd be better off than what they were, but I would probably say of the two Ohio teams, maybe the Browns' struggles are a little more of a surprise than the Bengals' early season success.
Great answer. Ziggy, we only have about a minute. We have 2 questions. Jamie in Nova Scotia wants to know, how long does Matt Nagy remain coach of the Chicago Bears?
Wow, that's a great question from Jamie. I got to think you know what? A lot of people probably want him out now, and he might not be able to coach this weekend, by the way, because of COVID concerns. But I think he gets the year because you got the rookie quarterback there. So probably through the year, in my guesstimation.
Okay. And hey, my Eastern Conference team's the Florida Panthers at 6-0. Your Boston Bruins are in there. What do you mean? Your Bruins are in there at 3-1. A little friendly wager. We got a lot of bets on the go, Ziggy. What's going to happen tonight at FLA Live Arena, Panthers and Bruins, do you think?
Well, we hope that the BOS is up 4-1 late or something like that. I think this is going to be. I think it's a good test for the Bruins because you got, obviously you got a guy like Studnicka coming in. He's going to center Coyle and Hall tonight, apparently. So they've had some injuries already. Goaltending starting to round out a little bit, but the Panthers definitely look legit here, Rod. And although, with Quenneville, I'm a little surprised that maybe they're letting him coach in lieu of what has transpired in the last 24 hours.
Innocent until proven guilty. Isn't that the thing?
It should be. I mean, you're right. I mean, but the thing is, he's mentioned in that report, saying, about we can't let this, what he supposedly said, that
be
we
a distraction.
Can't sort of let this get to be right. Exactly. So that and Shovel day off. If it's me, Rod, I would have put both those guys on leave until they have the meetings with Gary Bettman, then make the decision from there.
We will agree to disagree and still be friends. Ziggy, enjoy the game tonight. And as always, thanks for the time, my man. Listen to you often.
All right, my brother. Thanks for having me on.
The great Zig Fracassi joining us from New York, from SiriusXM NFL Radio. Overtime is next. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook, live streaming and 24-hour sports radio at rodpeterson.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Peterson Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Peterson Show now.
A legend throws 713 yards in a single pro football game.
A legend wins 3 Grey Cup MVP awards.
Allen looking deep.
A legend scores 1,209 points in 1,127 NHL games. Play among legends at betregal.net.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey, Don.
Hey, Quinn.
We have a surprise for you.
Oh, my.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Safety is a primary pillar at Core Green. We have core certification. Our workers are following best practices in the industry for safety. We always want to make sure that our contractors, us here at the shop, and our customers can come to work and go home at the end of every day. Give Core Green Systems a call today.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpetersonshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpetersonshop.com.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
It's overtime. Hey, Moose is back. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the UFC and the Seattle Kraken fan club. Big win for the Kraken last night. 5-1 over Montreal, winning their first home game. Game 2 of the World Series goes tonight in Houston. The Atlanta Braves lead the best-of-7 MLB Championship Series 1-0 after posting a 6-2 win last night. Tonight's pitching matchup sees Houston's Jose Urquidy take on Atlanta's Max Fried. The Oilers look to stay unbeaten when they welcome the Philadelphia Flyers in NHL play last night. Oilers on a 5-game win streak to start the year. The Flyers 2-1-1. The struggling Leafs look to get their NHL season back on track when they take on the Blackhawks in Chicago. Leafs have lost 4 in a row. Raptors continue a 4-game homestand tonight when they welcome the Indiana Pacers. Raps 1-3 to start the NBA season. Pacers 1-3 as well. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca and for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars. I can't wait to have mine after the show.
Oh, me too.
Yeah, which one are you going to have?
Peanut butter chocolate. It's my go-to. It's my favorite.
They're all good, of course, as you know. Almond mocha, I think, is what I'm going to go with today. John Kirby writing in with breaking news. Professional basketball is coming to Montreal. The Canadian Elite Basketball League announced Wednesday that the Montreal Alliance is being added as its 9th franchise and will begin play in 2022 at Verdun Auditorium. I like it. Hey, so here's a lesson for all you grasshoppers. We can still disagree and still be friends. Zig Fracassi just saying last segment that he thinks that Joel Quenneville and Kevin Cheveldayoff should be suspended from their duties until the conclusion of the NHL investigation into their roles in the Chicago Blackhawks sexual assault scandal. I don't agree. What if they're found to have no involvement and then they miss these games with their teams? That's my take. How about you? Do you just settle a tie here?
No, well, yeah, I've been reading a little bit more about this, too, from some different sources. Elliot Friedman's one of them, and he's got a great article up at Sportsnet that I think is worth a read for everybody. Here, what ended up happening was this allegation, the alleged incident happened. There was a meeting on May 23rd with some high-ranking executives that included Quenneville. We believe Chevy might have been part of that meeting, John McDonough, Al McIsaac. Nothing was done, and in the meantime, because nothing was done, further sexual misconduct happened to the intern. Okay? So because of their inaction, more was allowed to happen. So direct result of not taking care of it once they found out and had that meeting resulted in this other action and this intern having the incident. So somebody is responsible, and probably a little bit. Everybody in that meeting has a little bit of responsibility.
But if somebody decided, if it was John McDonough that said, I'll handle it, guys, and then chose not to handle it, does he not bear ultimate responsibility? I mean, everybody plays a role in this. And I think another thing that comes out of it is they were all asked about it in July, I believe, of this year when it first came to light. And those statements aren't lining up with what's in the report. So from Quenneville, from Chevy, from everybody, it feels like there's some discrepancies where things aren't lining up. And that's where I think a bit of an issue comes from.
Do you think Quenneville should be allowed to coach?
Yes, probably. I think so for now. Do I think it's a distraction? Yes. So maybe, for the Panthers and the team, they may want to remove that distraction.
Be their decision.
Be
right?
their
Not
decision.
The NHL's, yeah.
But the NHL is going to deal with this quickly. That meeting's going to happen tomorrow. I would assume by end of day tomorrow or by the end of the week, by Friday, we'll know what's going to happen with Joel Quenneville.
Hour 2 is brought to you by Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. And I have to mention, very important message, addiction. It destroys families, relationships, and lives. But the good news is addiction is a treatable illness. At Aurora Recovery Center, we provide everything you need to build a solid foundation for your recovery. With holistic, evidence-based treatment tailored to each individual. Located in Gimli, Manitoba, on the shores of Lake Manitoba, Aurora can help regardless of whether or not you feel ready or have tried before. Aurora Recovery Center, recovery for life. Visit their website, aurorarecoverycenter.com. We got a super chat here from the General. Where'd it go? Do you have the super chat from the General?
There it is.
Missed a few shows, and for your 600 show, here's to you, Rod and crew. Keep up the good work. It was a big day, and I thank everybody for the nice comments. Jennifer at the Four Seasons says, happy hump day, everyone. Go Oilers. That will be the focus of my viewing tonight against the Philadelphia Flyers. What will be the focus of your viewing tonight, Moose?
Probably that too, but just for fun, I'll pick something else, okay? So we can have the whole NHL covered tomorrow
you got
morning.
your Leafs playing tonight, do you not?
Yeah,
they're at Chicago.
I'll probably
You're going to watch that one.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks to Nick Kypreos, Zig Fracassi, and you. We'll see you at noon Eastern Thursday. Da-da-da-da-da-da.